O'Keefe just released whatever he's had, which I have not looked at. So we'll look at. O'Keefe, how do I say, like, he's sometimes hit or miss. Sometimes he builds stuff up really, really big, and then he's kind of a victim of his own hype. And I'm like, oh, this really wasn't that big a deal.
Isn't it something regarding the CIA this time, I think, right?
Yeah. This one says, might as well just jump into it because it's the meatiest part. So here he says, breaking, exposing the CIA. So the agencies kind of like all got together and said, we're not going to tell Trump. Director of the CIA would keep information from Trump, project manager working in cyber operations for the CIA and the NSA, contract with top secret clearance, working for, I don't know, who is this?
Deloitte.
Deloitte. Yeah. Amjad Fasisi is caught on undercover cameras implicating the highest levels of the intelligence agencies, including the executive staff, talking about the director of his subordinates, former CIA director, Gina Haspel, and I believe Mike Pompeo did the same thing too, kept information from Trump because we knew he'd disclose it. Amjad Reason says there are certain people that would give him a high-level overview, but never give him any details. You know why? It's because he would leak them. He's a Russian asset. He's owned by the Russians. Mike Pompeo said
there's a precedence for them doing this, not on the CIA and NSA level, but you remember the Syrian envoy? You remember that story from last year? It broke that the envoy to Syria was actually withholding troop totals from Donald Trump pertinent to the occupation of Syria there at several bases.
Yeah,
so I think he's probably true.
Oh, definitely. Then they go on, we steal information, we hack other countries. Well, no big deal. I'm not surprised by that. Amjad, who says he currently works on the CIA's China Mission Center, explains how intel agencies obtain information. He describes a broken intelligence system. We don't share information across agencies because the CIA is very reluctant to share information with the careless NSA. By the way, both organizations should be abolished tomorrow.
Although I almost sympathize with the CIA on that one.
Yeah,
that's
they're
the
like
sad part.
Yeah,
the NSA being so screwed up as it is.
Yeah, and then it says O'Keefe Media Group's bombshell undercover footage supports earlier reports from Michael Schellenberger, Matt Taibbi, and Alex Gutentag that revealed how the American intelligence community illegally ran a spy operation against then candidate Trump presidential campaign in 2016, illegally acquired intelligence that was later used to justify the FBI's official probe in Crossfire Hurricane, which led to the special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation that ultimately did not find any evidence of Russian collusion by the campaign. Well, it was just about, the investigation was the point, to generate headlines, to smear him. Contractors.
And beyond that, also, like when you think about like the business fraud case and all of the other cases going on, where they get that intel from, it was part of the same thing. They were effectively doing a huge fishing expedition.
Yes, right.
Eventually, people will find out about that. They'll realize that it was illegal to begin with, and not just like kind of sort of illegal, but like explicitly illegal.
Yeah, and that should invalidate all of this. Everything that it's
it won't.
Like what is it called? Fruit from the poison tree legally. Like Trump has to live by his own legal system. But I remember getting into an argument when people like were swatting my house constantly, and I refused to let the police in, and the police were like, "You can't. We have exigent circumstances," which essentially means doesn't matter if you have a problem with it, they have to go in and check. And you cannot stop them. And I'm like, well, this is a bullshit law. You're like, what do you mean? Then what's the point of requiring search warrant? Oh, we have exigent circumstances. Oh yeah, somebody sent a anonymous text message to the message board from Canada, and that's your reason for being able to invade my infringe on my rights.
Yeah. See, here we had a different thing. We got swatted 3 different times some time ago. The first time they did a quick sweep of the house, they shrugged their shoulders and left. The second time they showed up, but then they said, "Oh, obviously there's nothing going on here," and they left. The third time they didn't even bother to show up.
Yeah,
the people don't understand. In urban America, it's a little bit different from small town America, generally speaking. And so swatting does not necessarily affect one person the same way that it does another.
Right. Now they just text. They literally will just text me. Yeah. Like, hey, did you kill your wife today? Ha ha ha. I'm like, no, I'm good. But
that was sort of how it went the third time. They're like, hey, is there a problem over there? We just got a report. They had called in and said that I had killed my entire family, and that I had an assault rifle, and that I was basically like daring them to show up or something like that, trying to get me killed. And they're like, yeah, but we know that your mom is there because we literally just called her. So,
yeah, that was the same. They've
got an open investigation into this. It might have been that one kid that was arrested, that 17-year-old there. I think that was like a month ago.
Yeah, down in Florida, I think.
Yeah. It's got to be Florida,
Yeah. Somebody emailed me because I put a $10,000 bounty on it on finding the kid, and they emailed me and showed all the proof that they had worked with the FBI and with Wire to find this kid. And then I said, okay, great, I'll pay it. Just show me where you can prove that he's the one that was swatting me. That's the piece of evidence that kind of matters to me. So then I can sue him. Like if I can't connect it to him, then it's just, anyway, I learned on the exigent circumstances that day about, I called my attorney and I was like, dude, what if I got stuff out that that they can't see or they shouldn't see? And he was like, well, they can't arrest you for it because they basically found it they shouldn't have been in there in the first place. That was a long roundabout way to talk about fruit of the poison tree or whatever.
I think that this particular story is probably legit with regards to them withholding information from Trump, because we've got at least a couple of other circumstances in which we know that sort of thing happened. So there's a precedent for it,
Yeah, and I think that it's correct me if I'm wrong. You're more tightly connected with this, but I feel like it's pretty generally accepted from the public in the know now that these agencies actually operate independently of everything.
Yeah, and to some degree,
do whatever they want.
Yeah, and to some degree they have to, because they have to have that latitude in order to investigate people within the government potentially and stuff like that. That's perfectly fine, but they're definitely going way, way beyond their ken in these cases. They're deliberately misleading the commander-in-chief on things that they should not have the latitude to mislead him on. And then making an excuse about it. It would be like them. Can you imagine if they came out tomorrow and said, well, we didn't give Biden this briefing because we think he's demented and he might accidentally bring it up at a state dinner, in China or something like that. The legacy media would go insane.
Just, take it to a logical conclusion. Yeah, we had information on an imminent domestic event with mass loss of life, but we didn't tell Biden because he's a demented old circus monkey. And then it happens.
Well, they never gain intel on that. Remember the Tsarnaev brothers, the Boston Marathon bombing.
Yeah.
We were told 2 years ago that they had been radicalized. They were literally posting in praise of Osama on Facebook. Whoops, we couldn't have possibly stopped them.
Right. Well,
they were too busy busting Harold the Happy Hippie for his weed plants.
Yeah, and that guy that downloaded a Disney movie on freaking Napster. Like that's so. I don't know if this is another. Usually he puts some of the better hits in front. Let's see what this does.
So how long have you been working at the CIA?
Honeypotted again.
2008.
Okay.
I also worked at NSA too. And then I have a TSSCI with a full scope polygraph. That means that I'm fully vetted.
Amjad Fasisi shows her his CIA identification badge.
No, where does it say?
Does it?
Hey, that's the point.
That's the point.
What's CMC?
China Mission Center, darling. That's my mission.
Like she's supposed to know.
She got him loaded and then flirted with him basically. Remember when James O'Keefe had that one dude? Which dude was it? The
gay dude that he went out on a date with himself.
and he literally just put glasses on and dyed his hair, and the dude somewhere. I'm beginning to think that it would be real easy to infiltrate the United States if these officials that are reasonably up there. I mean, they're beyond middle management. If they can be fooled this easily, my God. Oh, I guess China knows everyone's social security number by now.
There's no doubt in my mind. It's like, yeah, he literally has the glasses with the fake nose on it, and he's like,
Oh my God.
like, and this guy's like, oh yeah, I work for them. Oh yeah.
Oh, you're hot. Oh my. Let me buy you a drink.
Yeah. This guy's too, like, he's trying to impress her.
I work for the CIA, honey.
Talks about how the CIA kept information from Trump.
Like working.
We kept information from him.
Say one more time.
We kept information from him.
From Trump?
Yes. He's an idiot. And there are certain people that would give him a high-level overview, but never give it to anybody. You know why? It's called leak those details.
Amjad Fasisi states the higher-ups within the intel community, including CIA directors Mike Pompeo and Gina Haspel, and the upper levels of their staffs colluded to withhold information from sitting President Trump.
So the agent.
They're cooked if he wins, right? Like, he's got to win probably.
Yeah, but they'll throw up a million roadblocks in his way to try to keep him from punishing anyone for the things that are going on now or that went on before. I mean, just like, imagine his own congressional Republicans wouldn't fund a few measly $1 billion to secure the border that they've been ranting about since the 1970s. So they would obstruct him,
Agencies kind of like all got together and said, we're not going to tell Trump.
The higher ups.
The higher ups.
We put it this way, the executive staff, we're talking about the director and his subordinates.
Like, what titles are they? They're
Director of the CIA.
How are people this stupid, Styx? Like, tell me, this is not a normal conversation.
You know what his defense would be is, well, I was just trying to impress this girl. I was trying to get into her pants.
I was making it up.
I made it all up. None of this is real. No. We never did any of those things. I'm a CIA agent. I knew better. I knew she was working with OMG Media or something. Right? Like
yeah, I was playing her. Uno Reverso.
I'm James Bond.
yeah. I think that it's every time I listen to these conversations, it's like when I just imagine I'm on a date. This guy
and his voice.
Well, yeah, right, yeah. But every time, like, if I was like at the bar, okay, and somebody next to me was like, "Oh, hey,
hey, handsome."
Oh, I really like. Well, yeah, that happens all the time. But then, like, if they're like, "Hey, so, yeah, I really like Styxhexenhammer. What's it like doing a show with him?" And I'd be like, it's all right. He's a little weird. And then they'd go,
admittedly,
yeah, and then they'd go, yeah, but like, is there anything like? I notice he has his symbols behind him. Has he ever explained exactly what that? Like, it's just so obvious.
Yeah.
That she's like, what were their titles? What woman is asking that question?
If there's no possibility, I think, that a CIA agent was genuinely taken in by this.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I have a feeling that this is the usual CIA thing where half of it's true and half of it's not, unless she got him loaded. If she let him have 3 or 4 drinks, maybe.
Yeah, and I noticed that
he does seem a little shiny,
he's got a little look to him. He's had some wine. She's got wine in her hand. But
they should send me in to drink one of these people under the table. I'll be perfectly stone cold sober and they'll pass out.
Yeah, right. Damn it, Styx, you did it again. He's dry, he's blacked out. We got nothing.
Whoops.
Yeah, right. Well, that's I want to try to be honeypotted by one of O'Keefe's people. If it's like, oh, here's another drink, here's another drink, here's another drink. Oh yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
You're like, wow, I drank $50 of liquor for free. It's
right
on your dime.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't know anything about. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know anything about that. I don't even work for the CIA.
I don't have any inside information on the Clanker cult or anything like that.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I see him for an hour a week. Well, what did you expect?
Wait. You're asking me about Syria? Where's that?
Yeah.
I got my geography lessons from Gary Johnson.
Right. Yeah. It's Syria. Isn't that the place that Obama bombed a bunch of brown people?
The CIA would keep.
Yes.
Are you guys still watching him?
I would say yes.
He doesn't know.
He's blasted there.
Yeah, he's drunk here.
Before he was at least tipsy before in the first part, but here he's blasted.
Yeah, he's definitely drunk.
It sounds like you guys are still watching him and his team.
Of course we are. Nothing goes by without somebody watching.
Amjad Fasisi also states as fact that
I don't know if I like a guy named Amjad Fasisi in the CIA. I'm just saying.
Maybe he has foreign language skills that got him hired as an interpreter or something.
Yeah,
I know. If you know 4 or more languages, it will fast track you, I believe, for CIA training, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, in particular shit like Farsi and like
Arabic.
Yeah,
Chinese. Yeah. Russian.
that Trump is under constant surveillance and even claims they are spying on his ex-wife.
And we also have people that monitor his ex-wife.
So you guys had human sources,
How do you think we get information?
like wiretapping? Is that
Steal it.
how did you guys figure out that Trump was colluding with the Russians? Did you guys use?
We made it up.
Yeah.
We made it up, and then we put it together. This thing called the Steele dossier, and we put it out there. And our useful idiots.
Unfortunately, while this is definitely major, in the sense that you've got at least a mid-ranking CIA agent claiming all of these things, for which he should be shit canned.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that this is the most reliable source that I've ever seen. I have a feeling that a lot of this is bravado.
And
It seems a little over the top, even for a drunk dude.